Hey guys, what's up? This is GaLmHD and welcome to another update video. Today is March 12th, and this is going to be a video that's going to be a little bit all over the place. Also, I have a fidget toy that makes a lot of noise in my hand. I apologize. Yeah, if you've read the title, if you've read the description, then you know where a lot of this is, a lot of the concepts that are going to be talked about in this. But I want to give a few, just general, levels of disclaimers first. First off, if you are a person who doesn't want to hear negative story, or you don't give a shit about me, either of those things are totally fine. Please feel free to pause the video, put in another tab, forget about it, close the tab, whatever, clear your YouTube history. You don't have to deal with this right now. This is a video, but a very temporary part of my life that hopefully in 1 to 5 years we can all have a laugh about. But right now it's really rough for me in the moment because, well, yeah, I'm in the process of being evicted, and also meaning I need to be in the process of moving out and packing everything. It's really rough. It's a rough overall situation. But yeah, so yeah, there's that level disclaimer. Second level disclaimer. If I'm asking for help. If you are willing to help me financially and donate directly to GoFundMe, that would be awesome. Or if you want to donate to PayPal, that would be awesome, because I really only need 1 month worth of rent, which is $2,775, and I will be able to at least shut my landlord up for a little extra bit of time. Just a little bit, while I get other things fixed. And then if I had more money beyond that, I could accelerate the process of finding a new place and just moving out. Because yeah, I'm in a bad situation. I've been put in a bad situation, forced into a bad situation, and it sucks. It sucks. So if you're another one of those people who would rather speak out negatively against GoFundMes and people asking for help, I don't believe in you, and I would like you to reconsider where you're taking your negativity, because it's people like you who dragged me down in other worse parts of my life when I could have asked for help and never been put in a situation like this ever. And instead, I internalized the stupid, shitty logic of not asking for help, and I'm still trying to battle against that. So yeah, if you can help me out through donations or anything, that's awesome. If you can't, that's fine too. It really is fine. You do not have to give me money. I've tried very hard in my life to not be a person who isn't reliant on donations. And I only started taking donations. The first time I started taking like Patreon money was specifically to pay editors and my thumbnail artist. It was all for that. Literally all of the Patreon money for years went towards paying editors and paying for my assistant and art. And I only started having to actually dip into that once life just continued to go down into the shitter. And thankfully I found out okay, I just need to go properly deal with my ADHD and mental health issues through medications. But guess what? Psychiatrists cost money, medications cost money, health insurance costs money, cars cost money, everything costs goddamn money, man. And it's rough, because I'm 1 to 2 decent good months of YouTuber Twitch away from at least living to the next paycheck, and I can't do it because my mental health keeps on getting destroyed by everything. So yeah, that leads me into the third kind of disclaimer here, and that is I want to be very, very, very honest about where the money goes, and it's hard to be because money just kind of goes everywhere. Once it just kind of ends up in a bank account, just whatever's pinging, whatever starts to happen. And I've got a lot of debts, but one of the biggest things, because I don't overall, I don't give a fuck about the money situation. It's temporary. Even if I get $0 in the GoFundMe, I will find a way to cling to this goddamn world like I have always, and we'll fix it somehow. But if you are going to donate, I would like you to at the very least know, and this is an awkward way to come out, but I would at least like you to know that I am a person who is non-binary and pansexual. This isn't to like make it like, oh, people who are non-binary and pansexual don't deserve donations. But I like to be honest, and I have seen people who feel betrayed when they've donated to somebody and then like fucking 5 to 10 years later that person turns out to be trans or gay or something. And I don't want that. If you want to feel betrayed because I don't agree with notions in the world and feel different ways about people in the world, then that's fine. Bye. But for everybody else, you know, like I just wanted to do that. I wanted to make a video coming out that would have been a lot more graceful. I had very particular ideas in my head about how I wanted to come out. Which is one of the other reasons how come I haven't made like a massive push for GoFundMe over the last few months, because I didn't want to be like, hey, really guys, like I super need help. I didn't want to like keep on pimping out like the GoFundMe without being outright honest about the fact that like, yeah, that money might eventually lead to me being like physically different in the future. Or at the very least, I don't know, you might be investing in me sounding more like a woman in the future. I don't know. It's not really something I want to actually fully talk about, because I'm one of those super, like, as non-binary, I'm in a super weird area where there's a lot of things I don't care about. Like, I'm not transitioning to be a woman. If I do anything that involves hormones or surgery or anything, it's not to be a woman. Like a trans woman. That's why it's a little bit weird. So I don't care about pronouns. I don't care about all these other things right now. I just wanted to let you guys know that yeah, I'm non-binary, and that's gonna be. It's honestly freeing for me, but that's a disclaimer. And yes, we're still in the disclaimer process of this video. My whole life is just trying to disclaim things terribly. That's why these update videos sometimes take so damn long to make out, or to not to make out. That sounds wrong. To make, period, because I overthink and have to explain everything. And when I'm not working with a script, which right now I'm not working with a script, it can be especially rough. Especially like right now, I'm not even on my ADHD medications because Adderall is good. Adderall is really good, but it can make bad mental health worse. And I'm in a really bad mental health state right now. So yeah, we're gonna just try to avoid stimulant medications as much as I can until I am just out of this house, out of this situation, have months to years between me and this whole shithole of a time and this pandemic, and then maybe I'll try again in the future, or I won't, because maybe I'll have found an alternative that doesn't, maybe non-stimulant medications, which I haven't tried yet. I actually tried, by the way, just to like make like this known. When I went to my second psychiatrist, I specifically asked my second psychiatrist if I could go on non-stimulants. Specifically. All right, I specifically wanted to not be put on Adderall with my second psychiatrist, and he put me on Adderall because he was like, well, it worked in the past, like you only had one breakdown and it worked all the rest of the time, which is a true good enough logic. Yes, like I was on Adderall 95% of the last year. I only had like 3 really fucked up like times and 1 psych ward visit, which the psych ward wasn't fucking necessary. I was just like in a nervous breakdown that just was mishandled terribly, honestly. Same thing with the second time. But, you know, you live and you learn. You live and you learn. So yeah, disclaimer part's over. What am I going to be doing other than that? And everything else. So again, if you want to, you can go to the GoFundMe, or you can go down into the description below, and there will be different links that you can go to. So if you want to donate to GoFundMe, or subscribe on twitch.tv, or donate to the PayPal directly, which is like the more like direct option for me, that I will like receive or if you want to subscribe to Patreon, all of those things are available, and you can go to the description down below. I really want to pay you guys back with higher quality everything. I'm just not at that point where I can do that without... Well, I can't do it the way that I would want to, right? Like, I could totally try and find a bunch of different free ways to, like, improve quality and ask for help, but I like paying people to work for me. I like commissioning people. I like doing things the way that I have the ideals to. It's why I try not to, like why I didn't pimp out things super hardcore. It's why my Patreon, like a lot of it, I'm like sitting there wanting to like do let's plays for you guys, have voting, have community nights, all these things, because that's my baseline underlying personality, is like I want to be able to feel like I earned the money that I've been given and earned the life that I live. And that's cute. You know, that was a cute notion, Pascom, but in reality, you don't. A lot of y'all continue to tell me like, no, you don't have to worry. If you want to, like, people literally tell me like, dude, if you want, like, here is $500. Go take a vacation. Like, I don't care if there's a pandemic. Go take a vacation. Some people actually like did that, and I was like, oh, I mean, that would be nice. It would be fucking fantastic to take a vacation. Trust me. If I could have like taken a full year away without like anything falling apart, I would have loved to, but we're in the middle of a pandemic, and so I'm still waiting for getting vaccinated before I do anything like traveling. God. Oh yeah. So if you want to donate, you can do that. Otherwise, if you can't do that, that's fine, because I will still be doing live streams. And I still will be doing YouTube videos. I just want to make sure that you guys understand that, like, my mental health right now isn't in a very good place. So if I say weird shit in my videos that are recorded over the next few months, I apologize. I'm not in a good mental health state. I've had a lot of very traumatic experiences that have changed some of my underlying internal ideals. Not completely, but like, yeah, I'm not in a happy space. So there are things that, like, beforehand in the past, you know, like I haven't cried a lot in my Let's Plays, but there are a lot of things I'm crying to nowadays. And I kind of like it, you know, not like in any kind of like perverted sense, but it's like, it is actually kind of nice to be able to listen to a sad song and cry to it. This is not something that I did in the past before my traumatic experiences. And actually, like, once I started going on Adderall and antidepressants again, I lost the ability kind of to do it. Like, it's almost like when I'm at a stable mental health point, I'm more resistant to crying and breaking down. And that was last time a direct result of having done the GoFundMe and not being super stressed out. Like, as soon as I did the GoFundMe, man, it all, like, I cried happy tears and all the stress like dissolved, because suddenly the threat of being evicted and everything compounding was gone. It was, you guys helped me with that. And then unfortunately, life still had a way of screwing me over, because, well, it costs money to go to a psychiatrist. It costs money to, I got a sleep apnea test. That cost, like, the whole process of getting a CPAP and a sleep apnea test and all that stuff was $2,000. Getting a new psychiatrist and even being able to start like ADHD medications again took like $600 to $1,000 over the course of 2 months. So it's like, so many things cost hundreds to thousands of dollars unless you're like insured or all these other things. And the good news is that in the future, I want to do things the smarter way. I do want to have health insurance, so something doesn't cost $1,000 to $2,000 for me to go do. I do want to have, you know, like a credit score, so I can put something on a credit card or apply for something and have it only cost $20 to $50 a month rather than costing me $2,000 to $5,000 immediately. I really, really want to do that. I just need time to accumulate money in order to do that. So yeah, that's where we're at. So It's a weird time, man. And I really wish that I hadn't been forced into this kind of situation. And a lot of it's my own fault. Like, I really want to, like, emphasize that I take 100% responsibility for everything that I have done or not done. That's the kind of person I am. And it's not a good thing. It's actually a really toxic mental health thing that, like, I take full responsibility for things that I don't need to actually take responsibility for. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It might be some other new fucking thing, mental health issue that I have, but it's been an underlying thing my entire life. If I hear about, like, starving kids in Africa, right, then I sit there going, well, if I am in the capability of supporting that thing, then I'd do it. I would donate to charity. I would make videos and messages about these different problems. But in the past, as a kid, right, like growing up, I couldn't do anything about it. So fucking that's a whole different subject. But like when we had an ice storm, one of the reasons how come I haven't been posting videos, or why I didn't post videos in February, is because Texas got hit with an ice storm, and people online were being super pissed off about anyone using electricity for video games or anything. And I seized up. I couldn't allow myself to post videos on YouTube while people needed electricity. It sucks. I hate that part. It's because I can logic it away when I'm on a good mental health day, but I haven't been on a good mental health day for months, for a year and a half, specifically before this pandemic. Holy goddamn shit. Life was so much better, literally, like 14 months ago, man. Like, oh my god, 14 months ago, January 2020, February 2020, life wasn't that bad for me. Even though, like, things were falling apart, I was not in a mindset from a year and a half of a pandemic. Now I am. It's rough, but I'm still here. So, ugh. Yeah. We're gonna be fine. And while some people might say, oh, just take a full break, I don't want to. There's actually a lot of cool things coming out in between now and like the next coming months in terms of the gaming industry, and I hate missing games coming out. I'm so tired of missing video games, y'all. I miss video games. I don't even know like, I haven't had the chance to check out the coolest parts of games because I mentally can't allow myself to do it. Like Valheim, I finally, like, I bought that, downloaded that, played it for like 20 minutes, and then I got off because I'm like, I can save this for a streamer let's play. And then I haven't felt good enough to do a streamer let's play. And then other parts of me are like, oh, other people are playing this with friends, I should play this with friends, but I haven't felt good enough to like deserve friendship. And then I've actually been a really shitty friend as well. So fuck's sake, I don't know, man. You know, I've talked about mental health stuff, and some people have taken offense to it, like I'm bragging, or at least that's what it feels like I'm telling them, and like I'm expecting them to be able to relate. And no, I don't expect a single fucking person in this world to actually be able to fully relate to the concoction that is my brain chemistry and body chemistry. It is not a good place in my skull. It's a good place in parts of my brain, you know, just to like really emphasize that, but like other parts of it are not good. And I killed those parts as a teenager, okay? I murdered the suicidal part of my brain and like the darker parts of my brain because I will never do those things because I know how much damage it can cause in the long run. But then other people treat me like I don't know anything about suicide, or like they ignore my advice, or like if I try to talk about my past, their eyes glaze over, and like that's been my experience. I'll talk sometimes to somebody directly about like, oh yeah, I used to be suicidal. This is like the ways that I thought about it, and this is the ways that I'm still like, you know, like I still wake up sometimes and like stare at the ceiling for fucking hours, not being able to move myself, but this is how I eventually move myself out of that situation, and they will fucking ignore me. And it's like, holy shit. Like, why am I even bothering with some people? It's, God, man. It's irritating. It's really fucking irritating because then it feels like I don't know what I'm talking about, and then I find out 1 to 3 to 4 years later that no, I actually really did. You know? And it's awkward. I had killed like the more negative emotional side of me so well as a younger kid that like I completely didn't understand a lot of the creative side of why a lot of people enjoy creativity. It was this foreign concept to me. And people would tell me that like, oh, you're great at improv, you're pretty creative. And I'm sitting here as this like kind of half like emotionally dead robot, like going, I don't know what you're talking about, but I can tell you're saying something positive about me, so clearly something's going right. That's been a lot of like what past me has been. It's just like I'm trying to be so goddamn positive that like even if I was just bullshitting, I was still like actually being positive. Like that's just me. It is ingrained in my personality and mind to try and take the silver lining, take the piss out of an issue, be humor. I made my coping mechanisms of trying to make fun things happen is stuck there, man. I'm a crazy fucking loony person. And I'll have people tell me that I sound like a psychopath or sociopath, and I'm like, okay, those are very negative, like very specific definitions that actually completely do not apply to me, because don't worry, I will go look it up afterwards to make sure I'm not a narcissist or sociopath or psychopath. But sure, yeah, we'll roll with it. Oh my god, this is why like the non-binary thing isn't even like that big of a deal for me. I've been more afraid of how people are going to perceive it than I am to actually be non-binary. I don't give a fuck about that. It's just roleplay for me. It's like some days, maybe I want to wear a spinny goddamn dress or skirt. Like, the more I started embracing the idea of being non-binary and sometimes wanting to wear feminine outfits or like wear makeup or put on like nail polish or anything, suddenly life got way fucking happier for me, like instantly. Like the more I think about like that side of me, and who knows, maybe I'm actually fully just a trans woman in like denial. I don't know. That's a thing that can happen. That's a thing I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of stories where somebody is non-binary for like 1 to 5 years and then goes, oh, I'm actually just straight up like I'm a full woman actually. But I can't even like explore that like at all. You need money in order to be able to do that, or save space. And I'm just really fucking, I'm really awkward. I'm really fucking awkward, everybody. I'm a socially awkward kid still, even as a 27-year-old. So I try not to leave the places that I already am. All right. I learned as like an 8-year-old what happens when like an 8-year-old goes into like weird fucking places and nobody knows that they're an 8-year-old. Okay. I've seen what happens. I've spent my life going into like friend groups growing up and seeing them engage with adult concepts way too fucking early. It's awkward as shit. Because guys, if you're a young person and you're like, this is just like a random aside, please, for the love of fucking God, do not embed shitty childhood memories for yourself, because you do not want to be a 40-year-old person remembering the weirdo fucking things that 15-year-olds did online. You don't. I don't think so. If I could bleach parts of my brain, like just remove some memories, that would be great. And for a long while, I didn't fully like internalize how stupid and bad some of the things that like I went through growing up were, because I just made fun of it at the time and going forward in the future. You know, it's why it took me so long to realize I was non-binary. If anyone's been around for a long time, you know that I've talked about like parts of my life where I pretended to be a girl online, I'll be a woman online, and I enjoyed that a lot, and I still do. I just now enjoy it for very different reasons than when I was 8 years old or 6 years old or 7 years old. So humans are weird is the best way to put it. Every single human being is a unique, weirdo combination of interesting things. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. So, oh, golly. Where am I? What is this? Okay, sorry, I had to like turn around. I moved my setup around, and I am not even looking at my recording going on. I'm just talking to a monitor that doesn't have any information. I'm just looking at my desktop. That's what I've been doing this entire time. Looking at my desktop, looking at the wall, messing with the fidget toy while ranting and not actually being sure what part of my rant I'm at. But some people say they like hearing me ramble. And honestly, rambling for me in these update videos or in general is like venting. It's like a really good coping mechanism of just saying all the shit that's on my mind and feeling good that I've actually said it. Like, even if I haven't even posted this video yet, it feels good to have just vented here. Which is why therapy is great. It's just awkward because I'm a person who needs like 2 or 3 hour venting sessions or something, and sometimes not. I've actually had like, there was a point where in 2019 my therapist and I just ran out of stuff to like outright talk about. That's how good my mental health was in 2019 after trying therapy for the first time. We literally were just like, so what's going on this week? And I'm like, you literally know. And it is the same damn thing. I love that. I love that. Therapy's been fantastic. Truly. I'm so excited in the future to be able to afford my therapist more often, and I'm interested in trying out other therapists. I actually tried to see another therapist. And here's how awkward like my life timing is. Okay, the day I was going to have my first meeting with my new my new therapist is the day I went to the psych ward for a second time, and I missed the appointment. Those two things aren't necessarily connected, but they kind of are too. I missed the appointment for a lot of other reasons, but mostly because my phone died. And I was in a really pissed off mindset that day. And I think if I had been able to go to that therapy session, I wouldn't have ended up in the psych ward. And I wouldn't be ending up in this situation. That's how, like, the smallest things can change your life, man. If I had had a phone charger on me, I wouldn't be in even more medical debt than I am now. Like, Lordy, Lord. I just want to play video games at times, you know? Sometimes I just want to play video games. Sometimes I want to just watch YouTube videos. Sometimes I want to watch just anime. And so that's like the positive thing that I'm going to take from this whole thing, is that at some point in the future, I really am just going to have a lot more fun streaming and doing YouTube videos for y'all. Like, I'm dropping so many, like, internalized toxic notions that I got growing up as a YouTuber. And I can put certain blames on certain people, but really, we're just products of our time. Like, we were literally contractually obligated in like 2011, 2012 to not do certain things because it would break like the law, which makes sense. You don't want to do illegal things, right? So like, I remember back in the day, Justin.tv, when like it was the whole process of Justin.tv and Twitch.tv, I would stream on Justin.tv and like have like Netflix up. You know, this is 2011, all right? Because it's fun to watch stuff with viewers. And now, fucking finally, we've got Amazon watch parties on Twitch. So if you have a Twitch Prime or an Amazon Prime account, like, you can watch movies and stuff with streamers who are hosting watch parties. And I'm looking forward to doing that because honestly, I miss those days, y'all. I miss 2011, 2012 me, where I just kind of did whatever I wanted. And I tried to be reasonable about it, but I still just did, you know what? I kind of want to watch a movie today. And we just watched a movie. I'm sure there are still some viewers around who remember when we watched the first episode of Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on Netflix, on stream. And that was, wow, that that first episode sucked, but it was fun. It was fun. There was what other movie did we watch that was weird? Hobo with a Shotgun. There was a stripper zombies movie. Like, this is where I'm at. I'm fucking nostalgic for 2011, 2012. In 2010, actually a lot of this was 2010 and 2011. So yeah, I've been around for way too long, and we're in an interesting place. We're in an interesting part of like how life cycles into new cycles, because there are so many things that are available nowadays that new streamers are doing that literally you couldn't fucking do, or you would get banned from these platforms, man. Like the amount of TikTok compilations or Vine compilations or like YouTube video, those were frowned on 7 years ago, right, guys? Am I in a different fucking reality? Those were literally frowned upon and like deleted and banned en masse, and now they're just every day. I literally go to YouTube and can like always have at least one compilation recommendation somewhere. And that's totally fine. That's actually hella fucking cool. I'm totally fine with that. It took a while to get there, didn't it? It really did. Ay, ay, ay. Whew. Some of y'all who've been with me for all these years, man, what a goddamn ride this has been. And for all of y'all who've joined me more recently in the last like 1 to 3 years, good. I'm so happy that you guys like missed some of those weirder parts, man. Oh my gosh. And that includes me. Like, I was a lot weirder. There were so many things that I did in the past that were just not good, that probably repressed my like non-binary transness even more, because I didn't even know anything about trans issues until like 2012, 2013. And it clicked instantly. And I was like, oh, okay. There was no, like, it wasn't a big thing. And I don't know. It's like I have like child logic speed. Like, if you explain something to me in a way that I can understand, I'll just be like, okay, fine. And I lose interest. Like, it doesn't interest me anymore. You know, you go, oh, some people, sometimes a guy loves another guy and then they go have sex. And I go, okay, I got it. I got it with the guy loves another guy part. I didn't need to know the sex part. Like, I got it. Okay. Now a little bit of me is a little bit more like, go on, please. What do you mean? What else do they do there? But I'll try not to be weird. Like, that's like, I don't know. That's like one of the biggest internalized logic inside me. Try not to be weird. Like, be funny, but don't make it weird unless it is for comedy. How do you tell the difference? Good luck. It's good luck is the answer of that. You live and you learn. You get experience. You know, in 2018 or 2019, I was looking at applying to do improv. I even went to like improv shows, and those were fun. I do really miss like the normalcy of like non-pandemic society, and I'm looking forward to it. We really are like, we're about to enter a post-pandemic renaissance of like of really intriguing proportions here, because yeah, there are a lot of people who literally like never left their house like at all during this pandemic, and y'all are troopers. I left my house during this pandemic. I had to pick up groceries because I impulse bought guinea pigs, and I had to pick up fresh groceries at least fucking once a week because of these little fuckers, because of these little guinea pigs who need fresh food. Well, they don't need fresh food, but I prefer to give my furry buddies. I was thinking about my puppy as well, Bruno. Yeah. Oh my god, I haven't talked about my pets yet. Yeah, that's another thing. There's disclaimer number 4. if you do donate to the GoFundMe's or to me or watch my videos or whatever, you might end up in a situation where the money goes to making my pets happier. Oh no. Oh no. I had so many people try and like berate me for getting pets. And it's like, no, man, I understand. Like, I understand the logic of not getting a pet. It's why I didn't have a pet beforehand. But I also know, like, the good sides of having a pet, which is why I still went with those. If there were absolutely no positives to having a pet, I wouldn't have a pet right now. But even if Bruno, who needs to be fucking potty trained, goddamn, is sometimes like a messy boy, I still love him. I still love him. He is so adorable, Bruno. And Thor and Loki are my guinea pigs, are also super cute. And if I weren't making a video that's probably going to be 40 minutes, I would insert pictures of them. But instead, you can go to Twitter and look at the Pets HD, and there will be some pictures there for you about Bruno and Thor and Loki, and hopefully there will be way more. I really do want to still do like vlogging content and like occasional like posts just dedicated to showing off like my zany ass pets. Man, weird things have started happening. Like once I got Bruno, my guinea pig started acting more like dogs. Okay, Thor now stands up on his hind legs and looks at me for food. It's really fucking weird. Okay, they didn't do that before we brought a dog home. And Bruno eats lettuce because sometimes he sticks his goddamn head into the cage because he's nosy, and I would give him lettuce, and he prefers lettuce over sometimes meat foods, and it's just weird because I'm just like, I don't want to give you lettuce, Bruno. That doesn't feel right. But he'll pets change you. Pets change you. I recommend it. Like, you know, I still, you know, same thing to everybody else. Make sure you're in a good enough situation, but don't be like some other people who just don't be like past me. Past me didn't want to get a dog purely because of like the fact that I'm renting a house and I didn't want to like mess things up here. Now, current me who has a dog, fuck yeah. I should have gotten a dog 3-4 years ago. Fuck yes, dogs. Fuck yeah. I should have gotten a pet. I should have had 2 or 3 pets. I should have had a whole new house. That's gonna be an interesting future GaLm problem for me to deal with. Where at some point I probably will end up having like 2 or 3 dogs, maybe a cat or 2. Not in a rush. Now, especially not with Bruno. Like Bruno can be the big pup for a while, and we could have Thor and Loki. And I want to give them good lives, good happy lives, and actually be able to afford their fucking vet bills that are $300 to $500 and just happen suddenly. Holy shit. God. But thank you for sticking with me if you're still here as I ramble. Again, not really working with a script. I wrote like a little bit of an outline, but I did it so fast that it really doesn't cover much. Like all it was is like, I'm non-binary, I'm being evicted. You know, that's it. That's been my outline. Which is why I haven't really been looking at it or staying on any kind of single target. I've just been saying fuck it and allowing myself to do whatever. But yeah, that's where we're at. That's where I'm at. You guys can expect a lot of things, and you can expect a lot of nothing as well. I don't know. And I'm embracing that. I really don't know what the future is fully going to hold. I can have ideas, and a lot of times those ideas of what future, like, I've been proven right a lot. If you've watched like a lot of my Let's Plays, and you know how I can predict like stories as I go through games, that's how I approach life too. It's not that like I'm actually seeing the future. It's that a lot of times, especially with ADHD, I kind of just throw out like hundreds of ideas of what could happen as time goes on, and then at some point it all adds up, right? I go, 1 plus 1 is 2. And then that means it could eventually be 10. Aha, 1 plus 2 is 3. Maybe it could even be 11. But we're probably still just gonna go with 10. And then at some point it stops at 10 and I'm like, wow. That was magical. How did we get there? Yeah. If there's anything that I've gotten out of this is that I really am like I'm so much more appreciative of like the more positive, weird ass parts of my personality. Like the negative parts of it, not so much. The anxiety and the weird sense of like needing to be honest and just and all this stuff really kind of tears into things in terms of the process of playing video games and having fun. But I don't know. I think that once I'm like past the stress, a lot of times I'm just have more fun. You know, I think that can be exemplified in just this update video alone. Like, I started this video off being very negative and annoyed. Actually, I don't even know how I started this video off. I've tried to do this update video a ton already. So, like, there were a couple of attempts that I did that were just really miserable. And then I had some food. And so I think that also helps. I had some food, I had some water, I tried to be a little bit more concise, and I got a lot of like the big things out of the way, and that just kind of, I guess, allowed space for me to just uncompress. And that's all I've been needing. I just need space to uncompress and be honest with y'all, because that's the best that I can be. Because, yeah, ADHD and childhood trauma and all these other things, they lead to a lot of baggage, but I do think that sometimes the more a person can get through and still find like positives in their life, it might not necessarily make them an overall better person, but it does give you experience, and sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes it's better to have experience on how to deal with a shitty situation by going through a shitty situation than it is to be hyper intelligent and avoid all shitty situations. Because that's what like past me was. Like, I just avoided tons and tons and tons of different situations and did not know how to be an adult. That's how I got in this situation in the first place. Had I been forced to deal with like rent or like budgeting growing up, oh my God, I would never have been in this situation. I would have gotten a credit card at 18, been super like not like using it at all. But I didn't get my first credit card until I was like 22. So like that's shit happens. Shit happens. I'm hoping that I can repair things, because like prior to like start of 2019, I had like a 780 credit score. Like, let me put that in perspective. 2019, start of 2019, had 780 credit score. End of 2019, made investments into vlogging camera stuff. And then that didn't pan out, and so now my credit score is more down in the 600s. So yeah, I still think they were good investments. I still like all my cameras. They're all highly, incredibly usable, and I'm gonna make sure to try and get my money's worth out of them at some point. But right now, I've also gained a lot of physical weight, so I'm probably not gonna do face cam stuff until I've lost at least a few pounds, because whoo, this pandemic weight has been intense. The amount of stress eating that I have been doing has gone up exponentially, man. It's been ridiculous. I before the pandemic, let me put this in perspective of another perspective. March 2020, had just started Adderall, had just started like, you know, really handling like the more intense parts of like my mental health problems. I got down to 190. Prior to 2020, I had never been below 199 pounds. Prior to 2019, I had never been below 200 pounds. So I'm a little salty to be way fatter, but that's okay. We'll work on it. And hopefully, yeah, there are some, like, I haven't gone to a dentist since 2013. I haven't had a physical checkup since 2018. So I'm actually really fucking excited in the future to just go fucking do regular checkups, man. Like, holy shit, I'm excited to just do basic bitch adult things that, like, I've been wanting, but I had to put off because there were times where I had health insurance before 26 and times where I didn't have health insurance before 26 and I didn't know what the fuck was going on and nobody could actually help me. Everybody was like going like, well, yeah, I'm still on my parents' health insurance, so I don't really know anything about it. Or, you've got to pay for this, 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 and this. And I'm like, well, I can't because I don't have the money for it. And they're like, well, get the money for it. And it's like, that doesn't help me. I need in-between things. I need actual explanations on how to solve very particular issues in the moment so I don't continue making the fucking mistakes that will cost me years of my life. You know, there were so many conversations that I've had that were just like, oh, how much money should you put away for this thing? And I'll get like a small answer, right? Like, one of the things that I've always operated on for the last like 5 to 6 years was this advice about rent. Like, oh, renting a place should only be about 30% of your income. Never rent a place if it costs more than that. And that's when I moved here to this place. Paying for the entire rent at the time, $2,550 in 2017, was like 30% of my income or less by myself. I just didn't know my mental health was so bad. I shouldn't have even done this house. I really should have just moved out into like a small house. Still a small house. I don't like dealing with, I'm really bad about hearing other people around me. So an apartment is just a really bad place for me, I think. But had I been like in a small house, just literally on my own, I would have learned a lot, and then I could have gotten the hell out of Dodge and got a much better place that I owned. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'm going to start wrapping it up here. If you made it this far in this video, which is now, I think, almost about 50 minutes long, yeah, I'm going to be okay no matter what, as I tried to explain in the disclaimer. I don't necessarily need the money for the sake of money. I just want to be out of this situation, is like the fact. Like, I just want to be out of this situation because if I'm out of this situation, I get more options, you know? If I have a car that doesn't break down all the time, I can do delivery jobs. If I have a stable home life, then my mental health will be more consistent and I can do harder tasks at a better rate without medication. If I have medications, I can do hard tasks, and if I have medications and a stable home life, I can do hard tasks as they come. That was one of the most exciting things that I found out when I was taking medications last year, was like, yeah, there were times I would fucking clean a bathroom for 5 to 6 hours on Adderall. But once I started to learn how to manage that, I no longer did that. I would just clean for like 20-30 minutes, have an alarm go off, and go, oh, I need to go do something else. And so suddenly it became a battle of maintenance rather than a battle of binge cleaning absolutely everything. And that's, oh my God, that is great. God, I think if you're somebody who's been going through like the mental health process, I think a lot of y'all probably you get it. Like, when sometimes just having like a clean load of fucking laundry is chef's kiss. Good parts of life. Like, I've underestimated a whole lot of things, but it's not been on purpose. It's because I've been overwhelmed the whole time just trying to get like the bare basics in the first place of having like even just folding clothes right now for me off of medication. I don't want to do it. Folding clothes on medication, I can do it for 10 hours straight. Even if I didn't take Adderall that day. So, I'm excited for the future. Really, really excited for the future. Regardless of anything, even if 0 people watch this video, which, it's not gonna happen. We're gonna have more than 0 people watch this video, because at the very least, I will probably end up watching this video. But, yeah. I think we're good. I think we're good. I'm like, now I'm at that update video point that I get to where like I've talked for really long and I'm considering, should I redo this video now that I've rambled for way too long? And I'm gonna give you guys a present and not do that here, because I think this is the best way I've explained all of this information so far. Usually, like, one of the things I've discovered about my mental health is that if I start to try and explain negative situations, that puts me in a bad mood. And I don't want to keep putting myself in a bad mood to explain that I'm being kicked out and need money. Like, I don't want to keep doing that. I would really literally rather move on and have like a better, happier life. So yeah, this is like me ripping off an entire arm worth of band-aids, no longer having like arm hair, and going, okay, all right, okay, we're doing it live. We're doing it live. We're doing more live streams. We're doing more videos. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't predict the future anymore. I tried to be a good guy with this house, and it failed. So screw it. We're just gonna look for another situation. Yeah. So, if any of you who are still watching this, again, if you want to support me, you can do it just by watching my content. You don't have to watch it live. You don't have to watch it the day of. Feel free to watch it way down the line when you are capable of doing it, or years down the line, or you never even have to watch the content in general. A lot of y'all are getting in the point in your lives where you don't need to watch a 40-hour Let's Play from me. And that's totally fine. I have always accepted that. Some people really are like, oh, God, I feel bad that I can't follow the Let's Play. And I'm happy. I am happy when you guys can't follow my Let's Plays, okay? And it's not because I don't want you to watch my Let's Plays. It's because that means you're getting to do other things. Hopefully positive things. But like, yeah, like me playing video games and having people watch it in the first place has been like the greatest freak accident that's ever happened for the whole world, for everywhere. But yeah, so now you know, like, that's been one of the greatest things that I've realized over the years about doing YouTube and doing Twitch is that, yeah, people grow up. A lot of the people who watched me when I was 15 years old, just starting on YouTube, some of them are older than me. Some of y'all are older than me. Some of y'all are younger than me, and you were there at the same time and are still here now. And that's beautiful. And then some of y'all, like, you know, the first fan that I ever met, and I wish I had gotten his name. The first fan I had ever met, was like a 6 to 8 year old kid at RTX 2013. And I didn't know, it was very, you got to understand how socially awkward I am. It was my first convention ever, and my first fan encounter ever really did humble me, because it was a kid with their parents, and that was the first like in-person interaction I ever had where like, yeah, we watches your content all the time, and I'm like, you know I cursed, right? And they're like, yeah, we know. And I'm like, oh, well, okay, sure. And that's one of those things that sticks with me. I love interacting with y'all, because even if I'm really bad with like names or faces or voices, there's always going to be something that sticks with me about it, that like all you need to do is remind me when you meet. You'll be like, oh yeah, I was the person who was sitting at like the wall, and like I waved my hand at you, and then you like stumble and fell and then waved your hand back, and be like, oh yeah, the stumble wave hand guy. Ah, yeah, no one's done that. the me stumbling over while waving at someone, that part has. I don't think there's ever been somebody where I did that. See, actually, I don't know. Have I done that? Can one of you give me a story where that actually happened and I can go, oh, because that happens a lot. That happens a lot. And I miss conventions. I really do. I cannot wait for being able to see y'all in person with me being vaccinated and hopefully everyone else being vaccinated as well, and no one getting sick. No more, like, I don't want con flu anymore. I don't want corona. I don't want PAX flu. I don't want convention flu. Fucking none of that. Okay? I already, prior to this pandemic, would go to these conventions with, like, vitamin packs to, like, boost my immunity. Because there were a few people who I saw would take that, and I'd be like, that's really smart. And you know what? A lot of the times that I took those vitamin packs, a lot of times I walked away not getting sick. And a lot of times I didn't walk in with vitamin packs and all these other, like, random things that could potentially help. I got sick. Badly. Whew. Gosh. What a different world we're going to be in, though. Oh, God, I'm excited. Guys, the worst thing about conventions is how cramped they are. I don't know if we're allowed to have cramped things anymore. I don't know if that's allowed anymore. Oh, God. Are we going to have more space and better lines at conventions? No. But it would be really exciting if we did. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. Okay. We're almost at an hour here of me rambling, but I'm having a good time. And that's kind of how my live streams and everything else hopefully will go. Again, all I need to do is get out of this situation. So, here's hoping. I have a water bottle. It's not open, so I can just ASMR crunch it here. Here's to a better life. For me, for everyone else in this world. Now, one of the things I've been super excited about is how fast technology is advancing, because we may actually legitimately start to see space colonization in the 21st century. It might not be pretty, but even just getting the basics of that started, that idea, like, that's so cool to me. That is so cool to me that we already have people in space and that we might be able to put more people in space and not have it be a really terrifying alien horror movie experience. That would be nice too. But people will figure it out. People will figure it out. Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up here properly. Thank you guys for watching this video. And I, again, will be fine. My girlfriend and my pets will be fine. We will be able to manage without any direct help. If you want to have direct help, or if you want to, like, indirectly help through watching or, like, sharing anything, that would be awesome. Hopefully the comments don't become a shit show, because some people might not be the nicest. Try not to be too mean to those people. But I can't control you, y'all. Y'all will either be nice or super nice, or some of y'all will be overly logical and attempt to be nice and might get torn apart, and I apologize for y'all too. And some people will be dicks, and, well, good luck. But for the 99.9% of the rest of y'all who are amazing and have consistently been super amazing over all these years, thank you. Thank you so much for giving me all the opportunities that I've had in my life, and hopefully more opportunities in the future for doing cool things, because I've got a lot of ideas. I think a lot of y'all will agree with me in the future of some of these ideas, whether it's like making simple basic merch. Man, I would love to send some people stickers. People have been asking me for stickers. I will fucking send you stickers, man. I'll do it. I would love to. But we got some other priorities first. Thank you guys for watching this video, and hopefully I will see you in another one.